Hi guys, today you're going to be looking at user acceptance testing as part of your software development understanding. I'm going to really briefly introduce the topic and then set you off on some tasks that you're going to do today. This will go on for several lessons along with the flowcharts you're doing, but just to introduce you to this while you're doing the design phase, and hopefully by the end of the next couple of lessons you'll actually understand why that's so important. So, user acceptance testing, UAT, is carried out when there is a working product, obviously, to test. So, the way it works is testers will be given a script of actions to follow and then the expected outcomes. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. They will then record if this test was failed, partially failed, or passed, and then what the actual outcome was. The big thing I want you to reflect on and write a paragraph about is why. Why is this so important? What is the point of this whole concept? So I'm going to send you this PowerPoint via Teams, and I would like you to complete the following. I want you to write a paragraph on the importance of user acceptance testing and which software development life cycle methodologies it's most compatible with. Also highlight any potential advantages, and also or disadvantages, sorry, because you'll mention lots of advantages in the part above. And also begin writing your own test scripts. So, what does a test script look like? This is an example of a completed user acceptance test on a different student's work. So they have for each screen, for each functionality within your program. So just to be very clear, you will have a lot of tests, somewhere in the region of around 40 tests in reality, possibly more depending on the type of your program. So with your flowcharts as well, so a few people message me, you must have flowcharts and pseudocode and tests for every single tiny part of your program. I really must remind you that this is not a year 11 level program, and I think people need to adjust a little bit to the understanding that this is going to be 250-page documenting an entire software development process for an A-level standard project. So just I've said it a few times, but I think it's important to remember. So back to this one. Test one. So the test is that user enters correct data into username and password, text box, and presses the login button. So they put them both into the text boxes. That's exactly what the user would do if they were given this script. What we'd expect to happen is for the login screen to close and the home page to open. The actual result, message box appears telling the user they've been logged in, closes home screen, so that is a pass. Now the next two we can see are partial fails. We'll look at why. So user doesn't enter anything into either text box and presses login. So they've not actually put anything in. What we want to happen is an error message appears telling the user they haven't entered anything. What's actually happened is message box appears saying the username has not been found. So that tells me then that however it's been coded, rather than just picking up that the box is empty, it's attempted to search the database for essentially an empty value and said that they've not found it, and so on. So you get the idea. A complete fail would be that maybe the home screen had launched. So the reason this is a partial fail is because there has been an error message and it has not allowed them access, but it wasn't quite in the way that we wanted it to be. So they're the three distinctions. Either it was passed, a partial fail because it did still do part of what we wanted, but not quite in the way we expected, and then a full fail is absolutely not. So just to reconfirm, you're going to be writing a paragraph on the importance of UAT, um, linking it to which software development lifecycle methodologies it's most compatible with. And I said methodologies because there are a couple that it could work with. Highlight any potential disadvantages and also begin writing your own test script. So I'm expecting essentially this part here, the first three boxes. Obviously, you only have an hour, so I'm not expecting all your test scripts done today, but just to get you started, I would expect at least 5 or 6 tests along with the other tasks that you've been asked to do. Okay, I'm also going to mark what you've sent me last lesson, and I'll get that back to you in the next 24 hours.